The story begins in 1960s Hong Kong, where two people, Chow and Sue, move into the same building on the same day. Both move in with their spouses. Initially, they don't have much contact. Gradually, they begin to meet again, sometimes in the stairwells, sometimes while eating out, sometimes in the hallway. Both bosses communicate in a polite and reserved manner. Chow works for a newspaper, and Sue is a secretary in an office. Their lives are going on normally, but a strange thing gradually begins to emerge. Both spouses are often away from home, and their behavior shows some similarities. At first, Chow and Sue ignore this. But then, some small things make them think. One day, Sue discovers that Chow has the same tie as her husband's gift. Chow also notices that his wife's handbag is identical to Sue's. This arouses suspicion in both of them. Gradually, they come to terms with the fact that their spouses may be in a relationship. This comes as a shock to both, but they accept it calmly. Chow and Sue now visit frequently, but their purpose is different. They try to understand what's going on between their partners and how it all began. They sometimes engage in role-playing, acting as each other's partner, trying to understand how their relationship might have developed. Through this, they grow closer. But both are mindful of one thing. They don't want to repeat the same mistake. They repeatedly restrain themselves and maintain their boundaries. Meanwhile, a strange, silent understanding develops between them. Even without many words, they begin to understand each other's feelings. The story now reaches a point where two lonely people, experiencing similar pain, gradually become each other's support. But they also know that their relationship is not easy. Now the meetings between Chow and Sue start increasing. The two used to meet just to talk, but now they've started spending time together intentionally. There's a strange comfort between them, as if they understand each other's pain without saying anything. They often meet outside, eat meals together, and gradually begin to share details of their lives. Chow begins writing a martial arts novel, and Suki begins to help. This encourages them to spend more time together. They grow closer, but they always maintain a boundary. They repeatedly remind themselves that they don't want to become like their spouses, so they don't let their relationship go beyond a certain limit. Meanwhile, their feelings deepen. They begin to feel incomplete without each other, but they don't say anything openly. Every meeting carries an unspoken secret. One day, Chow asks Suki if their lives would be different if they had met earlier. Suki doesn't answer this question directly, but her silence speaks volumes. The role-playing they used to understand their partner's actions is now slowly turning into their own feelings. The only difference is that they're avoiding admitting it, but society's attention is now on them. Two people in the building start talking about them. They suspect something is going on between Chow and Sue. This begins to worry both of them. Sue, in particular, is afraid of being misunderstood. She's very concerned about her image, so she gradually tries to distance herself from Chow. Chow senses this distance, but doesn't pressure Sue. He understands their situation isn't easy. Meanwhile, Chow gets a new job opportunity that requires him to move to another city. This further complicates their relationship. Now, both face a difficult decision. Should they follow their hearts or prioritize society and their duties? Gradually, their visits become less frequent and the distance between them grows, but the feelings they share remain the same. At this point, the story is about love, but they lack the courage to live it openly. A distance is now clearly visible between Chow and Sue. Both know what they feel for each other, but they are unable to make that feeling a part of their lives. The relationship they once had is slowly becoming incomplete. Chow has to move to another city for a new job. He wants to meet Sue before leaving, but the ease between them is no longer the same. When they meet, they want to say so much, but the words fail to come out. There's a moment when Chow tries to express his feelings, but then he stops himself. Sue understands, but she doesn't take any steps forward. Both know that if they cross this line, everything will change. Gradually, they drift apart. Chow leaves town, and Sue tries to return to her life. From the outside, everything appears normal, but deep inside, a void remains in both of their hearts. Time passes. Years pass. Chow has moved on in his life, but he can never forget the time he spent with Sue. One day, Chow returns to the place where they once lived. He recalls old memories, those meetings, those conversations, and that feeling that never fully came to life. He realizes that Sue has also moved on in her life, but the unfinished story between them still lingers somewhere. Chow goes to a temple and finds a small hole in a wall. He whispers everything he has in his heart and then seals it with mud. It's a way for him to seal his unfulfilled love forever. Subi, on the other hand, sometimes remembers those old moments, but now they're just memories. The story ends with the realization that not every love is meant to be complete. Some relationships leave their deepest mark when they remain incomplete. The story of Chow and Sue is one such example. A relationship that never fully began, yet remains a lasting memory. So, friends, that was the story of In the Mood, Full of Love. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.